So the US and China have officially entered a trade war, and a lot of people are failing to understand why this happened and which country stands to gain or lose more. So let's talk about it. Before I even get into the details, let me just say that this topic has exposed so many people for being hypocrites that it's not even funny. Hear me out. If you're someone who is complaining about the cost of products getting more expensive, but you stayed silent when inflation hit record highs under Biden and Kamala, you are a hypocrite. If you're someone who claims to support American workers and businesses, but you're rooting for China, you are a hypocrite. If you're someone who complains about the wealth gap and the rich steady getting richer, but you're rooting against America in this battle, you are a hypocrite. Most younger people probably don't remember this, but the US had a booming manufacturing industry for decades. We had millions of jobs that supported lower and middle class families, and we had cities across the country who were thriving mainly because of this industry. That all changed in the early 2000s when China entered the World Trade Organization and was granted most favorable nation status. This completely decimated the U.S. manufacturing industry. Between 2000 and 2015, the U.S. lost roughly 5 million manufacturing jobs, and that doesn't even include all of the jobs that supported the industry. About half of those jobs went to China, and to this day, this is referred to as the China shock. And listen, when I say decimated, I'm not exaggerating. Cities like Detroit went from having a population of almost 2 million to less than 700,000. Cities in Ohio saw their median income drop roughly 30% in just a matter of years. Poverty rates in the South shot above 20%. Drug overdoses all across the country went through the roof. And not only that, the wealth gap grew by insane numbers. The 1% doubled their income and went from owning about 20% of all the wealth in the country to owning above 30% of the wealth, while the bottom 50% of citizens own 2%. And if you're one of those people who are saying, well, tariffs are going to make everything more expensive, I don't want to pay more for an iPhone. First off, smartphones are not included. Second, where were you when the cost of everything shot up to record highs under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? The price to simply heat your home shot up roughly 40%. The cost of fruit and vegetables shot up roughly 10%. And the cost of cars and car parts shot up almost 15%. And we didn't hear any of the same outrage from the same people who are making a big deal about Trump's tariffs, which aren't estimated to raise any of those prices near what they were in this last administration. China stands to lose far more from this than we do as a country, and it's not even close. There's nowhere else on earth that China can turn to replace the $450 billion worth of annual revenue that they get from exports to the US. The consumer demand is just simply not there anywhere else in the world. The US has the benefit of being able to pivot. We can bring those manufacturing jobs back onshore, and we can work with other countries who have more favorable trade policies than China to help source some of those products that we don't produce naturally.